I think that's us. Is that us?
Yes.
Oh my God, what was that? That was someone else, was it?
Oh, that's definitely a handful.
So I had it all prepped because the last time I done it, it was very it's all kind of mixed up and it was all kind of last minute kind of thing. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's broad. But no, that's fine volume and that's fine. So no, Gillian Robertson, thanks again for coming back on the show. It's
Thank you.
been about 2 months.
Yeah, it's been a while and excited to be back on.
Awesome, thank you very much. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Just finishing training, about to get back in actually. That's all I really do. So it's like leaving the gym, getting back to it.
Is it training 24/7 pretty much, is it?
100%.
Awesome. Now, I forgot like last time, so I forgot to connect the dots. So I was kind of thinking about it. Like we've got with Canada, we've got Robertson, the surname. I'm Scottish, and I was like, you know what? I never even brought up the fact that there's a wee kind of connection going on there. Have you heard that a lot from people based on your surname and where you come from?
Actually, both my parents were born in Scotland.
Oh
So
wow!
my mom and my dad was born in Glasgow. My mom was born in Edinburgh, and they
Wow!
both moved to Canada when they were really young, and they met each other
Yeah,
in Canada. So it's like I was born in Canada, and they were both raised in Canada. But both my grandparents, really all my family lives in Scotland.
that's insane because I was like, it's just after it when I kind of listened back and I mean, why didn't I ask that? Because I'm based in a place called Dundee. Have you ever heard of Dundee?
I've heard of it. I've never actually
That's
been to
brilliant.
Scotland.
Oh, have you never been there?
No.
Yeah, Dundee's about, so if your dad and mum from Glasgow and Edinburgh, Dundee's probably about 60 miles north.
Hmm.
So not far away at all, actually. Do you know any Scottish words and any kind of slang for that matter?
Any kind of slang? I guess right. I don't know. Coming right. Gosh, why am I spacing out? You can't put me on the spot like this.
I know.
I feel like when I'm around my grandparents, it
Hmm.
naturally comes out because they both still have their Scottish accents, and it's just all the slang. We're always eating traditional Scottish foods. My brother's about the haggis. I'm not about it,
Haggis,
but
yep. Haggis is brilliant. You ever heard the iron brew and stuff then and
oh
stuff like
yeah, I
that?
love
Oh, brilliant.
uh, everything. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. So, bit off track there, just getting a bit lost in the Scottishness. So, it's been about 2 weeks for your last fight. Now, we know it didn't go as planned. How do you feel now? Kind of, it's been 2 weeks, you've had time to reflect. How do you feel at this stage?
Uh, one whenever after my first UFC loss, when I was walking out of the cage, my coach he said to me, he's like, "It's over," and I try to keep that in my mind after every single
Hmm.
fight. It's like it's over. There's nothing I can do about it now. So you just got to keep on moving forward, keep on
Hmm.
living life, and just try to stay positive and move. Like look to the next fight. So I'm just hoping I get a matchup soon,
Yeah.
and I'm able to get back in there.
No, sometimes that's the best way though. I mean, if you're kind of back into the mix soon, you've not got a chance to kind of stew on it and kind of think about what could have been done to kind of fix it or maybe turn over what happened. So, what would you call a kind of winding down session? Like, do you have a wee drink, a kind of take away for the kind of strict aspect of things, or is it more of a kind of sit down, think about it, then leave it at that?
Definitely sitting down and think about it. Definitely a little bit, maybe a little joint or something like that
Why
would
not?
work. But yeah, I'm just it like me and my coach. We already studied the fight. We looked over. We watched what we thought went wrong, what we think we can make better, and
Mhm.
that's just it. When you're putting yourself out there, you're testing yourself. And I went out and I tested my abilities, and now I need. I can see what's wrong. I can see where I messed up. I can see what I need to work on, and what's gonna make me a world champion one day.
And I suppose that's part of the discipline, isn't it? Because I mean, not to compare computer games and kind of fighting, but you know, you get people who can be like sore losers that can of course be frustrated in that. But part of the discipline is knowing that you're both going in there. You've both got your skill sets. You know that it could kind of go either way. Do you think that plays a big part in it as well?
Oh yeah, 100%. There's a lot of respect that goes into it with the other person, and you know that you both want it just as bad as the other person does. So it's just going in, testing your ability, and then seeing where you're at. The only way to test yourself is to be able to put yourself out there, and that's through competition. So I'm trying to do that as often as possible, just constantly improving in between. And like I said, it's a different path than I expected towards the belt, but I'm still headed towards the belt.
Nah, still plenty of time yet. Like it says, 25. Is it 25? Is that right?
Oh, almost 26. We're almost
Almost
there.
26. No, still, you're not even in your prime yet. So, how did it feel getting put up to the main card? Because I was shocked when I seen it. I was like, oh shit, like main card. How did that feel for you when you found out?
Oh, that felt absolutely amazing, especially with a matchup against someone like Miranda. Obviously,
Mm.
she's a game trying to fight the whole 15 minutes, trying to always push the pace. So to have someone like that to be able to share the cage with on such a huge stage was an absolute honor. Like, I'm sitting in the back room and I just try to smile as much as possible and take in the moment because it's absolutely unbelievable.
What did it feel like? So, of course, we knew about Ngannou and Stipe and all that, the kind of giant heavyweight taking over the world type thing, baddest men on the planet. Was there a kind of vibe going on the whole time? Like, I'm part of this event in general. Now I'm part of this event, but I'm on the main card. So, although we know that prelims get a lot of eyes as well, if you're on the main card now, the eyes are almost kind of doubled in that sense. How did that feel?
I guess you don't really think about it in the moment. Like
Oh, I
when you're out
suppose.
there, you don't really feel it. It's just you and her in the cage in that moment. But to think about it after, even like that, it's insane to me to think that I was on a pay-per-view card. Like it's
Awesome.
even to think that I'm in the UFC, that's insane to me. That this is my job, this is my life. So it's really all just a dream come true.
How did you find out? Did you get did somebody announce it or somebody just come and take you aside and just say, right, okay, there's been a change of plan?
No, I actually just went downstairs to check my weight one morning. They have the official scale down there, so I went down there to check my weight, and then they had the official card lineup, and I was reading it, and
Oh, wow.
it was the first fight was on top, and then it reads down to like Stipe and Francis were on the bottom.
Yeah.
So I was like 2 or 3 fights from the bottom. So I was like, oh, it must read bottom to top. And then when I realized it didn't, I was like, oh shit, I'm actually up
Wow.
top there.
That's the best way to find it, is it?
Yeah, it was just on a little poster that they have for all the fighters, so then we know where we're at, what we need to do.
Did you ever walk past Francis at all?
Just at weigh-ins, I saw him, and that is a massive human being.
Yeah, man. I look scary. So just get back to the fight then. So when I was watching the fight, I looked at it, I thought your stand-up was looking great. I seen, of course, you were trying to get in to get the takedown, but you seemed awfully comfy with your striking. Perhaps more in this occasion than I've seen before. Was that kind of part of the plan? Like go in, showcase more of the practicing. This is the striking that I've got going on. Or was it always inevitable? It was just to get that takedown.
Well, I know my finishing abilities are really on the ground right now. Like, really, that's where I'm going to be able to put those away. And like, obviously, my submissions are my strong point. So, ideally, in the end, the goal was to always get on the ground. But I'm trying to be comfortable on the feet. I'm trying to get my time just being on the feet, my cage time being on the feet, and just being relaxed in there. Because the more relaxed I am, the better I do fight. And I really feel like that is a big problem with my stand-up. I feel like I'm a lot better in the gym than I am in the cage just because of I'm not as comfortable with it. I'm not as confident in my striking, but that's definitely something that we're working on. And just to try to build my confidence, build my cage time. And I want to be a mixed martial artist. I want to be a rounded fighter, and it is part of the sport. So I got to get used to it. I got to get my time out there. So we're trying to get me comfortable on the feet, but obviously we know where I can finish girls, where I can put them. We're trying to get it down.
No, you definitely look comfy. Kind of heart was in my stomach there because I seen it and I seen all the kind of strikes you were doing, and I was like, you know what, man, she's actually she's doing perhaps more striking than I've seen you doing in the past. I was like, that's bloody awesome. So, seeing your control on the ground, I seen a few moments where it was looking pretty dangerous for Miranda. The momentum shifted at that point. We've seen that a lot of kind of twists and turns. I was hoping to see someone kind of materialise out of that. How frustrating is that? Because I've seen on numerous attempts, she had her back to you, you had her on the ground, you had her in all sorts of positions, but you're just unable to get to that opening, kind of get that neck, if you will. How frustrating is it?
I guess in the moment it's not frustrating, but that's something that like my coach has drilled into me. He wants me like there's no mistakes to make, only opportunities. So it's like if she blocks something, that's opening up another part of her. Like there's always an opening, there's always an opportunity. So I try to like not really get frustrated, just kind of flow, stay in the moment, and just be present really.
Yeah. So what's next for you? So you've been training a wee bit. Has this just been getting the ground game on the go, getting a bit more punches? Are you looking to get back in as soon as possible, or use the kind of summertime to get someone on the go, maybe international fight week, get a fight then?
I'm really open for whatever the UFC offers me at this point. It doesn't matter to me if they call me, want me in 2 weeks, I'm there, or if it's 6 months from now, I'll still be there. Until then, I'm trying to stay as active as possible. I'm competing for Submission Underground. April, it's either the 24th or the 25th. I'm not 100% sure on that right now, but I'll be competing against Liz Tracy on Submission Underground, and then I'm trying to get as many grappling competitions as I can, and that's just building my confidence, getting more exposure, and just getting more competition experience.
Does the coaches never get a bit paranoid? I mean, because of the difference, we know that you've got the Submission Underground and then you've got the fighting in the MMA world. You're perhaps going to be more at risk to injury if you're going and doing all that grappling. Is that the case, or do they kind of know that it's a different type of discipline altogether? It's not going to be too harsh because you're sparring anyway, aren't you?
Yeah, it definitely is a little bit risky, especially if you're going against somebody who I feel like MMA jiu-jitsu girls is different than jiu-jitsu girls, because once you go into the no-gi jiu-jitsu world, you open up like the footlock game, and that's a whole different world, and that's a very dangerous world. So it's like those girls, it's very dangerous to go against, but also I'm not committed to jiu-jitsu like I am to MMA. It's more just for more to get me comfortable competing. So if I need to tap, I'm gonna tap. Like, I'm not gonna let them break something, or like I won't go through the same things I will in MMA that I would in jiu-jitsu. I'd be a lot more careful.
No, that sounds very wise. So let's just say you got the opportunity to go back in the next couple of weeks. Who would you want to get in there with? Would it be somebody like Justine Kish, or personally for me, I think I'd love to see you fight in Lipsky. Ariane Lipsky, Queen of Violence.
Or she's supposed to fight this weekend, next weekend, I think, against Montana Del Rosa.
Ah, right, okay. Yeah. That's probably no then. But I was hoping, just with the ground game and stuff, I think it'd be a very good competitive grappling match in itself.
Oh yeah, no, I would love that matchup, 100%. And really, it's especially coming off of 2 losses, I feel like it's just whatever they offer me at this point. Whoever they're gonna give me, I'm gonna take that fight.
No, so I mean, the flyweight division's pretty mad at the moment. I think people don't realise just how many killers are in that division, kind of fighting their way up to get to Valentina. I mean, you can win another 2 wins and you can be pretty much back up there. I mean, as I said, nearly 26, but you're still young enough. You've still got your best days ahead of you. You're definitely not near your prime. I mean, I can't wait to see what's going to be next. We know that you've seen defeat, you've had a setback, you've seen defeat before, we've seen the resilience, we've seen how you've been able to kind of bounce back, and I just think that it's just going to be onwards and upwards for you here, and it's really exciting to see.
Thank you so much. And like you said, I'm young still, and it's all been a learning process. So I've had my ups and downs, but and it's not the journey I expected, but I'm still headed towards the belt always. That's the only goal, and that's where we're going.
No, that's awesome. Well, I'm confident enough we're going to see you getting near the belt. As we said, a couple of more fights, a lot more attention, a lot more bouts, and I have no doubt we'll see you there, Gillian. It's brilliant.
Oh, thank you so much.
No, I appreciate your time, and we'll be keeping an eye out, seeing what's going on with the fights, and you take it easy, all right?
Oh, you too. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.